Even though the Western region has been split with this referendum into Western North and the Western region, the region, which has over 3 million population, has just 32 courts, including the High Court, the District Court, the Circuit Court, and the other divisional courts. Even with this, the only courts that you can say are actually functioning in terms of resources is just here at the High Court. Lawyers are not happy with the state of resources, which they claim is really impeding proper judicial service.
We talk about the judiciary as the third arm of the government, and everybody expects the judiciary to put in the best. And you go to your office in such a court, such a deplorable condition. It's not that the courts are not functioning. The chunk of the work is coming from the circuit courts, the district courts. And you find yourself in such an office. To what extent could you be motivated to carry out your work? More cynical is the fact that while the court will be in session, the lights will go off. This time is not from the national grip. It's because there is the prepaid is run out. Now the courts have to pay for their own power. Whatever you consume, you have to pay. You understand? And is that the situation that must happen? When you are in the courtroom, the judge is seriously working, delivering, and then power went off. Sometimes the lawyers have to contribute, because midway you will realize that the judge, you could not just allow the judge to recess. So there and then you have to contribute, and then to get somebody to run to go and buy a prepaid. And then you say you want the judiciary to work. And then we are saying the judiciary is the third arm of the government. Can you find this in Parliament when they have to pay their own and light runs out? Can you find this at the State House, the seat of the government? So what sort of discrimination is that? We must be very fair to ourselves if we want a fair justice, a delivery of justice. You understand? So to me, these are some of the areas we have to look at.
In fact, the district court condition is what calls for urgent concern. The heat in the courtroom. Sometimes you just can't believe. Even, have you been to the circuit court, Takoradi, circuit court A? The place is virtually dark. And sometimes you attribute it to prepaid or something. But that is not the case. The whole place is dark always. And I can imagine how effective services could be handled or done in that court. And even the access road to the court it's been talked about several times, and no attention seems to be seen. So it seems to be a general occurrence. Go to Grand Kwanta and other courts, the district court especially, and then some of the circuit courts. The state of these courts is quite deplorable, and we think that urgent action has to be taken.
The Western Regional Ghana Bar Association President, Patience Diaba, says the deplorable state of the courts does not inspire confidence in judicial delivery.
If you are supposed to appear in court and you go to the courtroom and you see motorbikes and you also see tables and chairs, bad shape, you wonder what kind of justice will come out of this place. So psychologically, it can affect people seeking justice from such places. And if you've ever been to the court complex in Accra, when you go there, your spirit is lifted up. So it has a way of affecting what we do as lawyers and also in the justice delivery system.
This is the main access road to the Takoradi Circuit Court A and B, which attract a lot of patronage throughout the whole year. This very place saw the visit of the CJ, the Chief Justice, about a month ago, where she complained about the state of the road. But as you speak, nothing has been done about the state of the road in terms of assessing this very particular Circuit Court A and Circuit Court 2.
Since her visits, what we did as a follow-up to what we saw, the interactions, we called on the Metropolitan chief executive for the Sekondi Takoradi Metropolis to discuss, among others, like the road to the court, the circuit court. And he has assured us that even though it has been awarded on contract, as soon as possible, they'll try to level up the place, make it motorable before the start of the contract that has been awarded. And apart from that, I think we as a bar, we decided, okay, we can also play a role. We'll provide some chairs for the bar. You know, when you go to the court, you have the bench and then you have the bar. So we have taken it upon ourselves to provide some chairs for some of the courts, not only in the metropolis, but even beyond the metropolis. We'll keep checking on those who have made promises to do something about the states of the courts, especially the district courts, like the Metropolitan Chief Executive here. We'll keep reminding him of his promise. When we spoke to him, he was also talking about funds.
Over here at the Takoradi Market Circle District Court, where the Nigerian suspected kidnapper who actually broke jail and his case is actually being looked at here in this court, it's looking very clean, well painted, and the ceiling looking very good. But the problem here is that the court proximity to the market circle is the problem to people who patronize here. Emmanuel Opoku is a Takoradi-based journalist who visits the court regularly. He tells me the challenge he has reporting from some of these courts.
When audience go to court, including journalists, I think we are all there to listen to proceedings so that we'll be able to cover whatever is taking place very well to the general public. But look at the position or the location of this court, and then you will see that I don't know whether the assembly has allowed illegal, how should I put it, lorry station here, and the tooting of horns and the noise that the people make here disturbs proceedings whenever a court is in session. If the resources are there, and then whether the assembly or the government can be able to fix air condition in some of the courts in the metropolis because of the heat as a result of the congestion in the courtroom, I think it will be the best.
For some of us, we have very low voices. Those of you who have the vocal, the thing that you can speak, you have to speak out loud for the judge to hear you. And there are times they're having something on the road, so everybody's attention is drawn to the place. So many interruptions here and there. And even parking, that one you don't go there at all. You have to park very far from the court and walk to the court. There's no space for parking for the lawyers. You don't have, because it's so close to the market cycle. If you recall, when the Chief Justice came, she didn't even want to go up because the premises or the court premises was sharing a place with so many other institutions and all that. So much noise there. And for her, she thought that it could be better if they closed down that court and they relocated to join the district court around the Harbour area.
Reverend George Aweneba Amua, who is the Deputy Administrator for the Western Regional Judicial Service, admitted the concerns but says collaboration between the service and the local assembly is critical for addressing the challenges.
When you look at the state of the court at the market circle, for instance, that is in the heart of Takoradi, Sekondi Takoradi. That's in the heart, with the hustle and bustle of people, going through their normal daily routine. You would conclude that is not the best place to cite a court. The citing of the court, but maybe because we don't have the facilities. That is why we have allowed the court to exist for all these years there. But I think if we put heads together, we can look for an alternative place to cite the court. Like you were rightly saying, it is true. You go there and the noise around do not allow you to hear people, music blaring around and so on and so forth. I think that court, if it is recited, will help us. Yes. And then, since it's also cited within the premises of the Sekondi Takoradi Metropolis, that's their sub-metro office.
But who is responsible to fix the place? Is it the assembly?
Yes, if it is the judicial service first, and the assembly is also supposed to ensure that the courts thrive, that the courts run according to the Act 462. It behooves on the assemblies to ensure that the courts will run, so that security and law will go on in the district.
For City News, I'm Akwesi Jenim, second day.